Hi guys, very good morning. Today, let us see the program. Write a program for sum of first n natural numbers by using C language. Before that, what is meant by natural number? The number which can starts with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Those are called as the natural numbers. The numbers which are starts with 1, those are called as the natural numbers. So here, sum of first n natural numbers. Here the input value is n. We have to provide the n value. Depending upon that input value, it calculates, it adds all the sum of all the natural numbers up to the given number. For example, we have given the input value as 5. That means it adds to 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5. Then it prints the result. So that is the logic we have to follow to write this program. Sum of first n natural numbers. N in the sense it is the input value we have to provide. Let us write the program. First write down the header file hash include stdio.h. Then our C program execution can start with main function. Then first start the declaration part. So here we have to declare the variables. What are the variables we need for this program? First we have to provide the n value. That means how many natural numbers it has to be added. And initially the sum value can be initialized with the 0. That means sum is equal to 0. Then for counting purpose we have to take the one variable that is called as I. So this is the local variable declaration. Here we have declared n value. This is the input value we have to provide. Then initialize the sum value with 0. Then counting purpose we have to take the I value. Next, we have to read the input value from the keyboard. For that we are having the two statements, printf and scanf. So just I am displaying the message for our user identification. Printf enter n value. So it is reading the value of n by using the statement of scanf. Scanf, here write down the format specifier that is %d. Then read the value that is %n. Now we are writing the statement as for. Actually in previous class we have discussed the statements. Totally we are having the three statements: simple statements, compound statements and control statements. In control statement again it is divided into three types. Those decision control statements, next iterative statements and jump statements. Decision control statements means selection statements. Simple if else, if else ladder, nested if else like that. Next one, it is also having switch case also. The next type is iterative statements, which are also called as the loop statements also, which are having while, do while and for. Okay. So in the control statement, here the first statement. So first syntax is here we can pass the three parameters in single statement. That means the first one is here only we can declare the variable, then we can write the condition, then updation. That means either increment or decrement operation here. Each part can be separated with the semicolon. So this is the syntax for the first statement. What is that? First declaration, that is nothing but initialization of the variable. Next condition, next increment or decrement operation. So these three can be written by using single first statement. Now initially we have declared the I value, that is I is equal to 1. Next, checking the condition whether I less than or is equal to n or not. Next one, every time we have to increment the I value, that is I plus plus. After that, it is adding the value with some value. Sum is equal to sum plus I and print the result. Let us see How can it works? Here, first initially we are taking the values of the input value we have given n is equal to 5. Just I am providing the input as n is equal to 5. Now, let us see. Initially we have declared sum is equal to 0 and I is equal to 1. These are the input values we have taken. U is equal to 5, sum is equal to 0 and I is equal to 1. Now we have to check the condition here. What is the condition we have written? For I is equal to 1, semicolon, I less than or is equal to n, I plus plus. This is the condition we have written. After that, we have to add the value sum is equal to sum plus I. Every time we have to add the sum value with I value. Now, let us perform on this one. Now, when I is equal to 1, now check the condition. 1 less than or is equal to n. 1 less than or is equal to, what is the n value? 5 here. Okay, the condition is true. Whenever the condition is true, then it has to add the value sum is equal to sum plus I. What is the sum value? 0. Initially sum value is 0. Let us see here. It is a 0 value. So 0 plus I. What is the I value here? 1. That is equal to 1 here. Now, our sum value is changed from 0 to 1 here. So, sum is equal to 1. This is the new value of our sum. Actually, previously our sum is initialized with 0, but now our sum is equal to 1 here. Okay, next one. Let us apply the next one. I will be incremented by 2. That is equal to I plus plus here. Actually, I value is 1 now. Now, this I value is incremented to 2. So, I is equal to 2. Now, perform the same operation here. 2 less than or is equal to 5. Condition true. Then again calculate the sum value. Sum is equal to sum plus I. What is the sum value? 1. 1 plus I value is 2. That is equal to 3. That means our new sum value is changed from 1 to 3. Next. Let us see the next one. I is equal to 3. I will be incremented by 1. Next again check the condition. 3 less than or is equal to 5. Condition true. Next calculate the sum value. Sum is equal to sum plus I. What is the sum value here? Our previous sum value is 3. So 3 plus I value is 3. That is equal to 6. Our sum value is changed from 3 to 6 here. Sum is equal to 6. Again check the condition. I will be incremented by 1. I is equal to 4 here. Next 4 less than or is equal to 5. Condition true. Next again check the condition. Sum is equal to sum plus I. What is the sum value here? 6 is the sum value. So 6 plus I value as 4, that is equal to 10 here. Our sum value is now 10. Next, I will be incremented by 1. I is equal to 5 now. Next, 5 less than or is equal to 5. Condition true. Then check the condition. Sum is equal to sum plus I. What is the sum value? 10 plus I value is 5, that is equal to 15. So now again I increment the I value. I is equal to 6. 6 less than or is equal to 5. But here condition is false. Whenever the condition is false, then just it has to print the value, that is sum, as the output here. Clear? Like this, it will calculate the sum of n natural numbers. The natural numbers can be calculated depending upon the n value which is given by the user. So what is the result here? 15 is the result of first 5 natural numbers. The sum of first 5 natural numbers. Let us execute this one. Now I am going to print the result of sum. Let us execute. Let us compile. Check here, there is no errors here. Now I am running this one. It is asking to n the n value. That means we have to provide the n value. So I am giving the n value as 5. Just click on enter. Let us check here. What is the sum value? That is equal to 15. Clear? So like this we have to write down the program for calculating the sum of first n natural numbers. Is everything okay? Next. The next program is to write a C program for counting the number of digits from the given number. Okay, it has to count the number of digits which are present in our input value. For example, I have given the input value as 456. So this is the number I have given. Just it has to count the number of digits which are present in that number. 456. That means the digits are 3. So just it has to print the count value for the given number. Let us work out on this. So here, as like the previous program, here we have write down the header file. Then our C program execution can start with main function. Then here local declaration part here. Here also we have to provide the input value as n. N is the input value, then it is no need. This is the input value n. Next one, initially for result we are taking the count. So initially we have assigned the count is equal to 0. Next one, read the values from the keyboard. That's why we are writing the printf and scanf statement. So printf, enter a number. And scanf, it is reading only one value, that is n value. So percentage d, ampersand n. So in place of that, it will read the value from the keyboard and it is checking the condition. In previously, we have discussed the one of the control statement, that is for. What is the syntax for? For initialization, condition and increment and decrement. Now it is also the control statement. Here while, we are using the condition as while. The syntax for this one is while. Here we have to write the condition. And in block component statement, that means in braces we can write the statements here. Okay, now we are checking the condition while n greater than 0. Whenever this condition is true, then it is incrementing the count value and dividing our n value by 10. Whenever this condition is false, then it is come out from the loop. Then printing the count value. Okay, let us see, let us work out on this one. See here. This is our logic actually. So just I'm keeping it right size. Now, initially we have to provide the n value. We have to take the input value. So just let us see. I am providing n is equal to some 4, 5, 6. This is the n value I am giving. This is the number I am giving. Now, then count is equal to 0. Initially count is assigned with 0. The expected output for this is, it has to give the result as expecting result is equal to 3. That means the number of values can be present in this one, that is equal to 3. 1, 2, 3. He has to print the result as 3 here now. Let us check it one. First, what is the condition we have to check here? Is the n greater than 0 or not? So, what is the n value here? N 4, 5, 6. So, 4, 5, 6 is greater than 0. Four, 5, 6 is greater than 0 here. Now check the condition. Condition is true. Whenever this condition is true, then it has to increment the count value. Initially our count value is equal to 0. So count is equal to 0 plus 1. That implies what is our count value, that is equal to 1. Okay. After that, n is dividing with 10. So n is equal to n by 10. What is the n value? 4, 5, 6 by 10. That implies n is equal to 45. Because we have taken the integer data type. So actually this value is 45.6, but it returns only the integer part, that is 45 here. So now our new values are count is equal to 1, then n is equal to 45 here. Okay. Next, similarly work out on the next one. What is the n value now? This is the second part. N greater than 0, that means 45 is greater than 45 is greater than 0. That means condition is true. After that, we have to increment the count value, that is count is equal to, already count value is 3 here, 1. So 1 plus 1, that is equal to 2. Then divide the n value. N is equal to n by 10. What is the n value here? 45 by 10. And our new value is equal to n is equal to 4. Okay. Now our values are changing from count is equal to 2 and 4 is equal to 3. Now again check the condition. Next, what is the n value now? 4. 4 is greater than 0. 4 is greater than 0. Condition true. Next, increment the count value. Count is equal to, previously our count value as 2. That means 2 plus 1. That implies 3. Okay, now our count is equal to 3 now. Next, divide the n value. N is equal to n by 10. That implies actually n value as 4. 4 by 10, that is equal to 0. Okay. Next, it is checking the condition. 0 is greater than 0. Condition false. Whenever this condition is false, it is come out from the loop and print the count value. What is the count value here? 3. This 3 value will be printed on our screen. This is the logic we have to perform whenever we are counting the number of digits which are present in the given number. Okay, let us execute this one. See, after calculating this count value, just it is printing the statement number of digits is equal to 3 and it will take this result here. Let us execute this one. See, I have compiled this, there is no errors, it is ready to execute. Let us see the result. See here, it is asking to enter a number. For example, I am giving 4, 5, 6. Just click on enter. The number of digits is 3. Okay. So like this, we have to write a C program for calculating the number of digits which are present in our given number. So the program for that, if you want, you can write down. Okay, next, shall we move to the next one? Let us see the next program. To write a program for sum of first and last digits of the given number. As like previous, here also we have to take the input value as n. So let us see here, we are writing the header file, our C program can start with the main function. Let us see the local variable declaration here. Here we have taken the n value, that means here n we have to provide the number. From that number, it has to calculate the first and last digit sum. For example, we have given the number as 4, 5, 6. What are the first and last digits here? 4 and 6. The sum of these 4 and 6, that is equal to 10 is the result for us. Okay. After that, this is also no need. Remove this. Now we have declared the array. What is meant by array? Array is the collection of homogeneous data elements. The syntax of this one is array name. In square brackets, we have to provide the size of the array. Okay. Next one, I will explain this with the diagram. Next, I is equal to 0. Initially, we have taken the index value is equal to 0. We have provided the two statements printf and scanf for reading the values from the keyboard. So enter a number, it is asking to enter the n value. And we have to check the condition, is the n greater than 0 or not. Whenever the greater than 0, then only it will perform these conditions, otherwise it will print the result. Okay, so initially we are storing the reminder value. N modulus 10 means it will give the reminder value. This reminder value will store in our array index. After that, every time I will be incremented by 1, then n will be divided by 10. These three conditions can be performed when n is greater than or is equal to greater than 0. Whenever this condition is false, just it has to print our result here. Let us work out on this one. Let us take new. Next. Now let us see. So this is the logic we have to perform here. Let us see one by one. We have to check whether it is working or not. First, we have to take the n value as the input. That implies n is equal to 4, 5, 6. I am taking the number as 4, 5, 6. Now, it has to add the first and last digits. What is the first digit? 4. What is the last digit here? 6. Whenever it is adding these two, it will give the result as 10. Our expected result as result is equal to 10. That implies 4 plus 6, that is equal to 10 here. Okay. Now, initially we have declared the I is equal to 0 here. That implies we have taken another value, that is I is equal to 0, and we have taken the array index, array of 10. Before that, let us see what is meant by array. Array means it is the collection of homogeneous data elements with same data type. Okay, let us see. This is the array I have taken. This is the array. The array name of this one is A. So here array index can start with 0, 1, 2, next 3, 4, then 5. Whenever we are writing this one, we can write it as A of 0. The first value can be stored in the index of A of 0. Next A of 1. Next A of 2. Next A of 3. Like that. Okay, like that. Our array values can store with the index of array of 0, 1, 2, 3 like that. So this is the representation of our array. Let us see how to work out on this one. See, first we have to check the condition. First initially I is equal to 0, n is equal to 4, 5, 6. Now we have to check the condition while n greater than 0 or not. So I am checking the condition 4, 5, 6 is greater than 0. Four, 5, 6 is greater than 0. Condition true. Whenever this condition true, then it has to perform these three statements here. Let us check on this one. A of 0. What is the I value? 0. So A of 0 is equal to n modulus 10. What is the n value? 4, 5, 6 modulus 10. modulus 10, that means which gives the remainder value. What is the remainder of this one? That is the last digit here, that is 6. Okay, so 6 is the remainder. So in place of a of 0, the value is stored is 6 here. Okay, now let us see the next one. Let us check the next. Now again here we have to do the another one also, that is divide the n value. N is equal to n by 10. See here, n is equal to n by 10 here. N in the sense 456 by 10, that is equal to 45. Okay, our n value was changed from 456 to 45 here. Our new value is 45. Now let us check the another one. Again we have to check the condition while n greater than 0. What is the n value here? 45. 45 is greater than 0. Condition true. Then we have to check the condition a of I value. What is the I value here? We have to increment the I value. That means I value is, here increment the I value also, I is equal to 1 here. Now I is equal to 1, that is equal to a of, see here, a of 1 is equal to, we have to calculate the remainder value. That means 45 modulus 10, that is equal to, it gives the remainder. What is the remainder value? That is 5 here. After that increment the I value, that is equal to, I is equal to 1 plus 1, that implies 2. Then divide the n value, n is equal to 45 by 10, that implies 4. Okay. Next, again check the condition. We have to continue this process until we get the 0. Now checking the next one. Now what is the n value here? 4. That means 4 is greater than 0. Condition true. Then a of, now check this next statement. Whenever this condition is true, then it has to execute these statements. So a of I is equal to 2, that is equal to n modulus 10. What is the n value? 4. 4 modulus 10, that implies it gives the number as 4 only. Next, I will be incremented by 1, that is equal to, I is equal to 3. Next, n is equal to n by 10. What is the n value? N is equal to 4 by 10, that is equal to 0. Clear? Now it is again checking the condition. 0 is greater than 0. Condition is false here. Okay, whenever this condition is false, then it is come out from the loop and execute the statement of printf. Okay, what is the print? In our printf statements we have written, it has to print a of 0 plus a of I minus 1. This is the result it has to print. That is equal to, what is the value in our a of 0? Let us check here. The value in our a of 0 is 6 here. So 6 plus a of I minus 1. What is the I value here? I is equal to 3. 3 minus 1, that is equal to a of 3 minus 1. That means the value is here 2. What is the value can be present in our a of 2? What is the value in our A of 2? Check here. The value in our A of 2 is 4 here. So, let us add this one. That is equal to 6 plus A of 2 value is, see here, 4 here. 4. That is equal to 10. Clear? So, the first and last digits of the given number, that is equal to 6. Our expected result is also 10. Is it clear? So, like this we have to, our computer can analyze the logic backend process. This is the process has to be done whenever we have provided the n value. Let us execute this one. I am checking the errors. Is there any errors? See here. Check here. There is no errors. It is ready to execute. I am running this one. It is asking to enter the number here. So let us provide the number. I am providing the 4, 5, 6. That implies it gives the sum of first and last digits, that is equal to 10 here. This is only we have got in previous discussion also. So like this we have to calculate the first and last digits of the given number. Okay, note it down. Okay. Thank you all of you. We will continue next session. Thank you.